चिन्मात्रतां हृदि ददत्करुणाद्रदृष्ट्या राजन्तमात्मनि सदा निजबोधरूपे कौपीनमात्रवसनं चिदम्बरस्थम् आनन्दमात्मरमणं शरणं प्रपद्ये।
उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्या जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तम् विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनाम् निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। करुणापूर्णसुधाब्धें कबलितघनविश्वरूपकिरणावल्याम् अरुणाचलपरमात्मन् अरुणो भव चित्तकञ्जसुविकासाय। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण स्वानुभूतिः समुज्ज्वलां तमीडेहं सदा शुद्धं रमणेशमहेश्वरम्। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। मालेनुम्बल kaṭṭuviḍu ஆகி மண்ணு சமனாகி எல்லா நிலைமை கண்ணும் வேலைகள் வேடத்து இயைவ வெளியில் செய்து வேண்டியவாறு உலகில் விளையாடு வீரா. आशापाशशतोन्मुक्तः समस्सर्वासु वृत्तिषु बहिः प्रकृतिकार्यस्थः लोके विहर राघव. This last song Bhagavan pictures how a Jivan Mukta works in the world, or it is an Upadesha for a Mumukshu also. First step, Asha Pasha Shaton Mal enum pal kaṭṭuviḍu paṭṭō. Having been freed from all sorts of bondage of delusion. Freedom is only freedom from avidya, ignorance. The very nature of the self is freedom. Those who know Vedanta in its purest form, they will say even Videha Mukti or Jivan Mukti, they will not say. Just you know yourself, that's all. The self is ever free, eternally free. Then why am I not feeling that freedom? In Atma-bodha Tamil translation, Bhagavan uses a word, Ajnana alaivugal. Various wanderings or various waves, various shades of ignorance, one after the other, about many things. Simply we say you run seeking water in a mirage. Oh, there is water. When you go there, there is no water. Then you have to stop. But instead you start running another place. All your life, what is life? Running. Running, seeking this, seeking that. Here something is there, here something is there. And not now. After death something will I get. So, searching everywhere. There is a Tamil song. Tamil Odi means running. You can see how many Odi in this song. Odi, 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 Utkalanda Jyotiyai. The Jyoti means the light. It is in your own awareness. But seeking it outside, what are you doing? Odi, 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 Odi. Running. Utkalanda Jyotiyai, Nadi. You are seeking it outside. Naalkalum kazhindu poi. Days are slowly ebbing away. Apparena? Vadi. Then what happens? The person becomes withered, tired. Vadi, Naalkalum Mandu Pona Mandargal. Thus they die. Not one person or say two people. Innumerable. The human history is the history of such. Bhagavata says it narrates so many stories of kings. And after that there is a verse in which it says, you know why I narrated all the stories of kings? To tell you that so many fools were there in this earth who considered themselves as the body and the earth as belonging to them. They are all lying there as mud. So the stories are told to you so that you can have viveka and vairagya. Vijnana vairagya vivakshaya. The story is not important. Whether, see, Sat, Chit, Anandam, who am I, existence, consciousness, nothing is important. What is important is the impact of that knowledge in me as vairagya, viveka, vairagya, then absolute peace, no aversion, no hatred, no jealousy, no competition in the world. The person has found deep rest. That is the impact of jnanam. If you do not have that jnana impact and you have clarity, you have wonderful knowledge, everything, perhaps others will be using it. So the real fruit of realization is this. that there was a saint in Tamil Nadu, Pattanathar. So he was moving about, very great vairagi. One day, one Siddha gave to him a sugar cane. And he said, when the sugar cane becomes very sweet, you have attained Lord. Something like that is the story. The essence is, this is the sugar cane. This body, mind, it is the sugar cane. And when your spiritual practice has blossomed, has ripe, the true sweetness comes in your heart as peace, as bhakti, as ananda, as surrender. Then the sugar cane has kanumutriya karumenadu. Kanumutriya karumbu ulle. Kadumutri ninda karumbu ulle kaathu. So that in the Yoga Shastra they say, from Mooladhara the Kundalini arises, then Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Ajna, Sahasrara. Actually what is happening is, it is not actually traveling, it is closing one after the other the centers. It is all over. And when it crosses the border, body is over. For the person, sometimes in mobile or computer people will do it. You want to delete something, delete from here, slowly. And then the whole form is deleted. Like that is that. So it is not that some force is traveling and you feel the force from the lower part to the higher part. No. Slowly the lower parts are over. One after the other, one after the other. Ayatamannamayamaatmanam pranamayamaatmanam manomayamatman, transcending, going beyond. Then that plane is over. No more delusion about that plane. So, like that we have delusion about each and every corner in life. Something is there. All that is gone by root and branch, it is removed. Māleṉumbal vidupaṭṭō. Various places there is delusion. Whatever you look outside and get fascinated is a delusion. Bhagavan's friend, younger days he had a playmate, Rangan, who later on became a good devotee. But he came to Bhagavan after a long period. Bhagavan came to Tiruvannamalai as a sannyasi, living in Virupaksha, then Skandashram. At that time, like the Kuchela going to Krishna, he had lot of family trouble, financial trouble, depression. Then he felt, oh, I have a friend. So why not go and see him, what he is doing? So thus he came to Tiruvannamalai and saw Bhagavan in Skandashram. Of course, Bhagavan's mother, Azhagammal, also knew him very well. So it was a very at-home feeling there. And Bhagavan behaved very naturally. But for Rangan, he could not behave like before with Bhagavan. He felt this is Sakshat Shiva sitting there, Arunachala sitting there. That was his feeling. And seeing Bhagavan, the very breath, the very presence used to infuse vairagya. People do not know what is the secret of a jnani. They will think if jnani is sitting in a chair, if I get that chair, I will also be jnani. Or if he is wearing a kind of dress, I will also wear that dress, I will be jnani. Or if he is taking bhiksha, I will take bhiksha, then it will be jnani. So vairagya also comes like that only. There are two types of vairagya. One is like you have so much problem in life, one day you decide, oh, anityam. I don't want anything. How much time? Till lunch. Then again the problem starts. So that is smashana vairagya. Very little. Like people get dispassion in a cremation ground. Like that. So Rangan, when he saw Bhagavan, he felt, I should also become a sannyasi. No problem of this worldly life, this family trouble, all this great problem. So I will leave it. Because he thought the peace of Bhagavan is due to sannyasa. Bhagavan is free of all this outer trouble. That is why he is able to be peaceful. So I will also become a sannyasi. Thinking like this, he said, Bhagavan, may I take sannyasa? And Bhagavan said, Ranga, you look at a mountain from a distance. All mountains, they are beautiful from a distance. You go near them, then you find all creatures, all kind of things in the mountain. Only this much Bhagavan said. Then later on Rangan said, I later on only understood how much trouble Bhagavan also had around him. So much of problems created by people around. At least in home I have only this problem of finance. But Bhagavan had so many things around him. So you, by simply renouncing or wearing only a kaupinam, you cannot become Bhagavan. So to really become Bhagavan means you should have that jnanam in you. The jnanam should become so powerful that it never gets overpowered by your destiny. This is Shankaracharya's words. In one of the Bhashya, he says, when people ask, I have clarity, we will see also. People will have a wonderful clarity, wonderful knowledge. But when trouble comes, they are shaken. They don't know. And most interesting thing is, they don't use this jnanam there. They enjoy jnanam like enjoying a film in another place. As an entertainment. You go to satsang, there you enjoy it. For the time being, it is all wonderful. Read a book. Or write book. But when a trouble comes, you forget that this is a power which you have to use there. That you forget. So, the jnanam should be so powerful that anabhibhavatvam, this is Shankaracharya's words. He says, you don't get overpowered by the suffering that invades your life due to ignorance. You cannot avoid. When you have body, disease will come. So many problems will be there. When Bhagavan, you had arthritis, very severe. So they used to bring oil from Kerala. One day, so many devotees came to see Bhagavan. Sometimes, the crowd swells. The cause is, at that time, there was a Swami here. You can see a mandapam opposite to Ramanashram. There is a temple there. In a temple, Vinayagar, in Ganapati. So, in that mandapam he was staying, and he used to give bhasma, vibhuti. In Tamil they say vibhuti. Tirunir, vibhuti, like that. So for disease, for curing disease, for curing mental problems or exorcise the ghosts, like that people will come to him. So he will give bhasma. So he was become famous as a Vibhuti Swamiyar. So all this crowd also used to come to Ramana Ashram to see what this Swami is. And one day when they were sitting there, Bhagavan was putting and massaging his leg with Dhanvantaram Tailam. And for some time they looked at Bhagavan, then they did namaskar and went away. Bhagavan said, this disease, arthritis, is also a great blessing for me. Otherwise all these people will sit here. Now they thought, what is this Swami? He cannot cure his own problems. He has so many problems, how will he cure our problems? Thinking like this, they will go away. It is good. So, the physical problems are there comparatively very, very small is that plane. If you do not have other problems, you will feel that as big. Very small problems, like you have problem in your company, your job, something like that, making what they say in English, a mole out of mountain, like that. Small things, they make it big, very huge. And sadhakas, they are very, very strange people. For them, very depressed. Why? Swami, I had a dream, bad dream. Some bad thought came, so depressed. Somebody is laughing there, even after a death in their house. And here, one thought is enough for him to get himself disturbed. So sometimes small things becomes very big. So physical things are very, very small, and comparatively when you go inward, these mental troubles that are so many layers which create trouble. The person has to transcend that also. This is what Bhagavan said, vidamam nilaigal. Vidamam nilaigalellam vicharam shaitu. Not one. See, sometimes you are very quiet, a firework starts, you are shaken. So, one after the other, the fireworks comes in your life. You train yourself to endure them. In our childhood, in our house, father used to bring very less patas, fireworks. Once he brought some and it was kept here, and we were just lighting and throwing, called ola padakku, with the coconut leaf, they will make fire. So with that throwing, not myself, someone else, it, instead of going there, it fell here and started pada. And of course, whole body of children there got little burns. The elderly person in the house, he got so angry. You know what he did? He took all the rest of the crackers and burnt it in one stroke. The real jnanam is like that. You just burn everything, whether the physical, mental, intellectual, everything, you just wipe it away. All unreal. And then what remains as the simple existence, as the simple awareness, which is not created by you, which is not depending on your sadhana, which is not depending on your meditation, your yogyata. It is, where does it stay? In Brihadaranyaka Upanishads, somebody asked Yajnavalkya, where does it stay? It stays in its own glory. That is its greatness. It stays sve mahimni. It is staying in its own mahima, in its own glory. So, it is not depending on how you hold. Because you yourself, you are unreal. How are you going to hold realization? How are you going to hold that samadhi? That is why ultimately we say samadhi is not a state. Samadhi is the self. Samadhi is our real nature. What does the intellect do? It just recognizes it, that's all. Just like somebody stands outside and sees and remains there. He cannot enter inside. Like that is the buddhi. It's just buddhigrahyam atindriyam. As Bhagavad Gita says, the atindriyam, the transcendental thing, the buddhi just recognizes and keeps quiet. That's all. In one moment, that is what happened to Bhagavan. One moment, that is why Bhagavan says, after that there is no gradation. People used to try Bhagavan, ask Bhagavan that Bhagavan, there were stages in your life also, you were in no gradation, no stages. Once the dawn arises, it never sets. Actually, it does not arise also. It is as it is. It is the supreme. So, all the delusion is removed. The satsanga is only for that. Satsangatve, nissangatvam, nissangatve, nirmohatva. First you enter the satsanga, you are listening to the shastras, authentic texts, authentic teaching. Then slowly, with vague knowledge itself, the effect you will see. Although the knowledge has not become very clear, even with a vague absorption, there will be a detachment in the world. You no more get mixed up like others. There is a strange aloofness, a divine indifference. That is nisangatva. Then next is nirmohatva. When you see a snake in the rope, you don't care. Because you say, I am not afraid of the snake. Let it be there. Why bother? That is nisangatva. Nirmohatva is, with a torchlight you have seen, there is no snake. You tell others who are seeing the snake, no snake. Then someone will believe you, someone will not believe you. But those who believe you, they get nisangatva. No impact of that. Sometimes, children, they have rubber snake. Looks very real. So someone has to tell, and first you have to believe, no other way, because it will go like this. Then once you really see that it is not a snake, then the person is free. Nirmohatva. Moha is gone. Delusion is gone. No wrong idea. No misapprehension there. It's great strength. The true knowledge is great strength. Viryam. That is the Upanishad says. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amritam. That viryam comes in life. The knowledge becomes more and more powerful. Samanagi ella nilai kannum. Ella nilai means due to prarabdha, various things will happen in your life. Prakriti karya. Everyone is inside Prakriti. According to the person's, in Tamil we say head writing. According to the person's prarabdha, something or the other will happen in life. As we said yesterday, nonsense. Why it happened, you will never get an answer. You can go to some astrologer, he will say something. But that is not a clear answer. There also you have to just believe, that's all. You did something in your past birth. Now you are getting it. Okay. By that, if you are getting peace, that is good. But that is not the real explanation. You see around everyone's life, you find everyone is having problem, including incarnations. All of them have problem. And the best way to find peace, one of the ways, without attaining jnanam also, you can find peace. You hear others' problems. Then you will feel, I am in a much better position. Recently someone was telling, they came from America, saying some problems in the United States they were speaking. And this person said wonderful thing. He said, these people don't know what is the real problem of life. The real problem of life is water and food. That problem they don't know. They have so much sumptuous. And small things becomes a big problem for them. Because the basic problems are not there. So, samanagi. The entire philosophy of Gita, teaching of Gita is samatvam yoga uchyate. One definition for yoga is equanimity. Whatever may happen around, there is a kind of calm inside you. You are abiding in yourself. Not acting as if. Really. That is Bhagavan. That was Bhagavan. Bhagavan's biography is samatvam. Things were happening around and you don't feel that there is any problem in Ramana Maharshi's life. Because nothing could shake him. He was so calm, balanced, swarupe avasthanam, abiding in his real nature. So, ella nilaimaik samanagi. Whatever may happen, samatvam. Then, not staying in some cave. குகையில் போய் உட்காரல. வேலைகள் வேடத்து இயைவ வெளியில் செய்து. According to your prarabdha, you are working in the world. That is very important. Sannyasa is not prescribed for all. And 99% will not come to that path also. At the same time, we don't want to neglect our spiritual life. So, There were many realized beings, even Maharashtra saints in Maharashtra, you can see so many of them. Some person was a tailor, some person was a farmer, some person was a very ritualistic Brahmin. All of them were illumined souls. Never forgetting that state, they lived in the world and worked vedatyavar according to their swadharma. They were working in the world. Their whole life was a spiritual experience. That is viளையாடு vīrā. It is all God experience only. Whatever they may be doing, it was all God experience for them. So that is the 27th verse. Now 28th verse. அறிவு உண்மை நிஷ்டனாம் ஆன்மவித்தாவான் அறிவால் புலன் செற்றான் ஆர்தான் அறிவு அங்கி ஆவன் அறிவாம் குலிசத்தான் காலகாலன் அவன் ஷாவினை மாய் வீரன் என சாற்று விஷய பிரதிசம்ஹாரம் யக்கரோதி விவேகதः மிருத்யோர் மிருத்யுஹு இதி க்யாதः சவித்வான் ஆத்மவித் கவிஹ ஞான சத்பாவ சம்ஸ்தானः ஞானாக்னிஹ ஞானவஜ்ரபிருத் மிருத்யுஹந்தேதி விக்யாதः மகாவீரோ விமத்சரः. It's all again and again the knowledge of the self. அறிவு உண்மை நிஷ்டன் ஆன்மவித்தாவான். Atmavit means the knower of the self. He is the real அறிவு உண்மை நிஷ்டன். He is established in the truth of his own real nature. In Sanskrit, he is called as kavihi. He is the real kavi, the poet, the mystic. அறிவால் புலன் செற்றான். Who by the knowledge has conquered the senses. His senses no more delude him, because he knows that whatever he is perceiving through the senses is also Atma. In Aksharamana, there is one song in which Bhagavan says, just like a seeker praying, in that song Bhagavan says, O Arunachala, through all the doors of perception, all the doors of senses, these thieves are entering inside. Like desire, anger, jealousy, greed, all these thieves are entering inside. If the house owner is inside the house, generally robbers will not come inside. Saying this, Bhagavan is asking Arunachala, Arunachala, you are the house owner. Are you not there inside? If you are really there, this trouble should not happen. Naturally, when you read this song in a dualistic plane, it will look very genuine, very honest prayer. This is how all the devotees pray. They say, and that is very strange with Bhagavan, that Bhagavan has included such a prayer, where he says, oh, the senses are giving trouble, things are entering into me, creating turbulence in the mind. You are in my heart as my real yajamana, owner, and you should do the control. You should make the mind quiet, peaceful from within. This is the prayer. Aimbula kalvar ahattinir puhumbodu ahattini illayo arunachala. But next moment he becomes Advaiti. Next song he just comes back and he says, instead of, if you would have stopped it there, we all would be praying that should be the right thing. But next song he says, Oruvana olittu evar varuvar. Actually, this is the answer. Oruvana olittu evar varuvar. Un shude idu arunachala. See, sometimes the sadhaka, however mature he is, even Advaita knowledge is all there. Suddenly I become human. And from that weak plain pray, tears pour forth. All great Mahatmas have done that. But they suddenly come back to the balance of the true knowledge, because that is the solution. Temporary solution will not do. It is not solution that you are seeking. You are seeking dissolution. Erasing the negativities. So, next song Bhagavan comes back and he says, Oruvana munnai olittu. You are the one without a second. Where are the senses? Where is the mind? Who is the person who is affected inside? Where are the objects? Neither the objects exist, nor the senses exist, nor the mind exists, not even the ego which is suffering. It is all unreal. You, that one whole principle alone is real. This is strength, If you can jump back to this Advaita Jnana, this is strength. Every moment you jump back there and hold on to the truth. It is not enough that you see there is no serpent in the rope. Sureshwaracharya, Shankaracharya's disciple says, do not stop there. Take that rope and put it in your neck. You should prove that you know it, that there is no snake. That much of strength. So this is the strength born of Atma Jnanam that yesterday we told about Jnaneshwara. Even a real mouse cannot eat a cat. How can a doll mouse eat a cat? Because this is not real. This is unreal. And so, the person has that power. Arivu angiyavan. Very powerful. Jnanagnihi. Arivu angi. He is the fire of knowledge. He is the fire of knowledge. The knowledge, the jnanam is like a fire with him, that anything that you put there, it will burn. No duality it allows to persist. The second thing, asahishnu, that is the word Shankaracharya uses. Unbearable. Vikalpa, unbearable. There is a beautiful expression. The Jivan Mukta is like a perfect musician. He sings his song of life in perfect shruti, in perfect tune. A small note out of Apashruti. English? Yes, it goes out of note, out of tune. It is not tuned, it's unbearable. Like that is for the jnani also. that the duality is unbearable. Asahishnu. Vikalpa asahishnu. The vikalpa he cannot bear. So that is Arivangiyavan. Arivan Pulanshitran, are the senses are all, by that knowledge of that oneness, non-duality, senses are no more powerful. Arivangi, the knowledge is like fire in him. Arivam Kulishattan. Kulisham means Ankusha, Kulisha. They have translated this as thunderbolt. Vajrabrit, that is the Sanskrit word. Vajra is thunderbolt. But thunderbolt, is it meaningful? We translate it so. But is there any weapon in English like that? No, nothing. Is there? That is Indra's weapon. But is there any mention of a thunderbolt in any Western Greek mythology? Okay, it's there. Ningala sollappadadu. It's a Greek mythology, it is there, right? So, thunderbolt. Okay. So, Kulisha, generally they use with an elephant. Kulisha means elephant, they use it. Ankusha and Kulisha, they will use it. Goad. So, like that. To hold it back and sometimes to pierce it also. So, like that, Arivu, the knowledge is like a powerful weapon with Jnani. About Swami Vivekananda as Narendra, he was a young boy, 15, 16 years old. He comes to see Ramakrishna, and Ramakrishna used to enjoy him like anything, because he used to say, see how uncared. Whatever you may say about him, nothing affects him. He is moving with a unsheathed sword. That is, Ramakrishna used to say, see, look at him. He moves with a unsheathed sword. So that was the Kulisha, the sword of knowledge. Arivam Kulishattan. And with that weapon, what will he kill? Kala Kalan. He kills time. There is a beautiful writing, once it came in Mountain Path, that about Bhagavan wrote, he dealt a death blow to death itself. He dealt a death blow to death itself. Kala Kalan, avan Shavinai mai vīran ena shattu. Realization is only that. That you recognize with absolute clarity, there is no death. Neither birth. Not simply knowledge. You see that death is impossible. Neither am I born, nor will I die. Mrityuhanteti vikhyataha. Mahaviraha is the most courageous, brave one. Vimatsaraha. That is very beautiful. That is one very important point. In Bhagavata also say, who is qualified to listen? Vimatsara, no competition. Not at all looking at others. Sometimes spiritually also, he is able to meditate, I am not able to meditate. Everywhere this kind of looking at others happen. And sometimes people feel, he is famous, I am not famous. Very petty thing. Vimatsaraha, no matsarya, no desire to become something, no becoming at all in fact. So, mrityuhanteti vikhyataha, jnana sadbhava samsthanaha, jnanagnihi, jnana vajrabhrit. He is carrying the jnana vajram in his hand. Savidvan āṇma-vittu kavihi. He is the real vidvan, the knower of the self. He is the kavi, the real poet. Kavi means rishi, the mystic. His words are poetry, because the beauty of poetry is you are able to understand but you get a glimpse that an ocean is underneath. What you are seeing is only an iceberg, the top of the iceberg. Deep down, a mountain is there. That is true poetry. You see only the surface meaning. Deep within, so much profundity is there. Only very little has reached me. But even that little, even that unknown land has such mystical beauty, such profoundness, that itself is a great inspiring force. The known part is not attractive. The unknown is so attractive. The fragrance of the unknowable. Hence, all our Shastras says the Rishi is Kavi. You cannot simply become Kavi by learning, by knowledge. A person becomes Kavi when he becomes a Rishi. Non-Rishihi Kavihi. If he is not a Rishi, he is not a Kavi. That is the conviction of the people who have done research in Rasa Shastra. What do they say for it in English? Phonetics? Phonetics is language. Rasa Shastra. Literature, you can say literature. And more,
Epistemology.
No. Epistemology. No. Not is. It has its own specific name. In literature, there is a specific name for that Rasa Shastra. That I forgot actually. Recently also, we were talking about it. So, this is, there they say, only a sage is a real poet. A rishi is a real poet. Nobody can imitate him. You can write like his language, but the depth of it cannot be brought by merely imitation, by carpentry of words. You cannot make it. So that is Rishitva. Recently, I was reading some reminiscences of devotees who went and saw Master Maharshi, Mahendranath Gupta, who wrote Ramakrishna's Gospel. He was a school teacher and he was a great mystic. Paul Brenton, in his Search in Secret India, he met so many people. Amidst them, 3 of them stands out. One is, of course, Bhagavan. The other is Kanchi Paramacharya. And the third is Master Maharshi. There he says, I was looking at him and felt as if, or what they call in the Western world, patriarch saints. Something like that term he uses. The old saints from their Christian story has come down like that feeling of that constant living in the otherness that was there in him, and all bhakti, pure bhakti. So few devotees, they go there to see him, and the way he receives them, like as if looking at them as God. And reading, what will he do? He will say, I am sitting on the bank of a big ocean. And the ocean is not salty water. It is all very nectar. So whoever comes to me, I take a little bit and serve to them. That is this Gospel of Ramakrishna. He has kept so much. So there, some South Indian devotees from Tamil Nadu, they went there. They met him. Then he asked them to sing. You can sing some songs. And they said, we are classical singers, that we can sing. So generally, many places classical music means they need not be necessarily saints. They could be good musicians. But here the thing is very different. Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshidhar, Shyama Shastri, three of them, they were all God-realized beings, saints. So Tyagaraja Kirtana, he took one Kirtana and sang. And Master Maharshi was in a Samadhi state listening to that. After that, he just asked, who wrote this? He said, this is Tyagaraja. He could not make out the meaning. But after listening to the song, oh, he was a rishi. This is the word he said, oh, he was a rishi. Although you don't understand the meaning, that which you do not even understand touches your deepest core. That is Rishitva. And that is how so many devotees came to Bhagavan or any other saint, not by understanding what their state is, but simply the unknown is so powerful. The unknown is so attractive. The divine unknown, or you can even say the unknowable, because it is your very being. You cannot know it like an object. So the very mystical beauty of the unknowable, that which cannot be grasped by the senses, by the mind, that has a strange fascination, which is more fascinating than any sensory object, any outer things. When you come into that fascination, all these things fall away. So that is the beauty of true satsanga. So there, Shayavinai Mai Vīran, they have crossed the border of death. They have entered the divine chamber, temple of deathlessness. Such a one is Kala Kalan Mrityu. Mrityunjaya. That is the word that is used. Mrityunjayam Mrityubhyashritanam Aham Matir Mrityumupaiti Purvam. Sadarshanam. When you have Mrityubhayam, fear of death, you go and surrender to the Mrityunjaya. One who has crossed death, then your fear of death vanishes. Along with the ego, it vanishes. Ahammati, the ego also vanishes. The individual sense vanishes. Ahammatir mrityumupaiti purvam. Swabhavada amriteshu. Then amritatva is your swabhava, is your real nature. Katham punar mrityudiyo vakashaha. After that, where is mrityu? Where mrityu means not simply death. Where is desire for little absurd things? Jnate tatvekah samsara. So this knowledge is so powerful. So this arivu unmai nishtan, āṇma-vittu, the person who is established in true knowledge is a knower of the self. His senses naturally becomes very orderly, not that they will not work. They find they are tuned to the rhythm of life. That is what we have to say. They are tuned to the rhythm of life. Arivu Angiyavan, that knower is the fire of Jnanam. Arivam Kulishattan. His knowledge is like a powerful weapon to deal a death blow to death. Kala Kalan. Shavinai Maiviran. He just erases death, removes death from his thought. Such a one is a Jivan Mukta. So, next song. For the seer of truth, the light of wisdom, sparkle of intelligence, abiding prowess and all other wealth shine on their own accord without any effort on his part. Just as with the onset of spring season, the trees on earth bloom with beauty, growth and all such excellences. This is the song that we will see tomorrow. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato na vāchyam mama kinchitasti yathataveshtam kurumam tateva tvam ātmanatham ramanam bhajami.